So welcome to my channel, welcome back if you're returning. For today's video, this is actually going to be about what they're thinking. So essentially this is for anyone who you are in contact with that is thinking something that and essentially you don't know, and they're holding back, they're not telling you, and you feel kind of at a standstill. You want to know what's going on, you want to help, maybe they're going through a tough time, whatever the case may be, they're not telling you and you're not opening up, and so this is the video for you. And because it's such a video that has to do with such a more specific topic, should I say, in the beginning of each of the pick cards today, I'm going to actually be going over certain energies that I'm feeling about each one person, like person A and person B, so that you can make sure that you are in the right pile. And if this is the wrong pile, if you're not resonating with anything that I'm saying, then you can come back. But if there's some parts that you're resonating with, then you stay, and you can just take what resonates and leave what doesn't, essentially. Because this is a big group of people and there's only 4 piles, and I can only do my best by helping everyone out in some way or capacity. So to start off with, this is pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is for people that can just intuitively figure out which pile is for them. Now, if you need something to look at, I'm going to flip over the cards now. Pile 1 has connect with the earth. Pile 2 with intuition. Pile 3 with rest. And pile 4 with movement. Okay, so as always, please take as much time as you need to pick the pile that is calling out to you. You can pause the video if you need to. With that being said, I'm going to start on with pile 1. Hi group 1, so I have pre-show for you guys off camera. I hope you don't mind. So with that being said, I'm going to get into the energy of the first person. So person A, or person 1, exudes the energy of this tarantula here. So with the tarantula, this lets me know that this is a person who is overanalyzing, overthinking. There's someone who like gets into a situation and you're saying something and then they're like constantly thinking, okay, so what does that actually mean? Is there another meaning behind this, or is it just what they're saying? Like they're overanalyzing and then they have like all these ideas of possibilities, and like they overthink and think, oh, if I say this, this, or this could happen. What if this happens? And like they're always doing that. They're always thinking about all the possible outcomes. They're about what you might be saying and all the different ways that you could be saying it, instead of just like seeing things on the surface level. They also kind of have this feeling of like pulling back, like, right, like this tarantula energy does feel like this is the person you're asking about, because tarantulas in reverse talk about pulling back or kind of scurrying away, probably because they are going to be attacked, right? So like this feeling of waiting for like the shoe to drop or for someone to hurt you. So this is like an energy of like having been hurt previously or being really scared to be hurt and trying to protect their heart. And the other card that popped out is the wasp. Sometimes life stings. So it does feel like this person has been through some horrible relationships in the past, and they're so used to, and they've been hurt so badly before that they're scared to open up now, and that's why they're always overanalyzing everything, because they wanna make sure that things are safe for them to say something, right? So they're unsure, and they need to feel or believe that everything is safe in order for them to kind of crawl out, right, of their hiding spot. And then they are both insects as well, so insects might be some kind of a sign that they're giving you when it comes to this person. Now, if this is you and your energy, again, this could still be a sign, but for some reason I'm feeling this is probably them, but it could be reversed, right? So keep that in mind. The lamb is the other person, person B, and this is the energy of someone who has a lot of anxiety, someone who's like, again, trying to say something, do something with a person, and they're afraid of all the possible outcomes, right? So again, a very similar energy with the tarantula. So you might feel like you're a very similar person with this person you're thinking of. You might mirror each other a lot. Because this lamb also, the lamb hasn't technically been hurt. They just have a lot of anxiety. They're very aware of their surroundings all the time. So you could also be very perceptive if this is you or them. And spirit has your back. So this, again, feels like more you because you're here and you believe in spirit. Not to say that they might not believe, but spirit is letting you know if this is you that they have your back, that everything is going to be okay with whatever this relationship is. Things are going to unfold. You're going to understand why things happen the way they do, and it's kind of like reminding you of divine timing. Now, again, if this is them, then this is like confirmation, like things, even though things are bad right now, spirit will have your back and they will help that person, right? So if this does sound like you and them, then this is your reading. Even if like there's like some things you picked up on and you're like, yeah, that sounds about right, and some things not so much, then I would still recommend staying here. And obviously, if there are multiple groups you're called to, feel free to watch multiple groups and then pick and choose which resonates with you. So with that being said, we're going to move on to the tarot. So we start off with the Six of Blades here. So with the Six of Blades, this talks about them coming from a traumatic or bad past. Lots of bad energies. So this feels like, again, they had a really tough time in a relationship, whether it be platonic or romantic. I'm not sure if you're asking about who you're asking about specifically, so it could be platonic or romantic. But they've had a really tough time previously, and they're trying to move into better waters. They're trying to find better people who treat them right. But because they have been there in this past energy, right, they are, again, scared to go back there. They don't want to travel back to that country or island or wherever they're, traveling from, and they want to make sure that they are still continuing to be safe, and so they have this protective barrier around their heart. We have the Page of Steles. So this might be how they show the world. Like maybe this is like their outer coat, right? Or like something that you have gotten to know as well. Maybe it could be something that you get to know, right? So it depends. This essentially is someone who is very creative, someone who's very enthusiastic. They love doing challenges, they love doing new things. They are very young and spirited. The Page of Steles, the signs that go with this, and now keep in mind, it doesn't mean that they are these signs, but these are the signs that go with it. It is Sagittarius to fire, so Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. So they could have strong placements with fire signs, or you could have a strong placement with fire sign, but that is not important. But it might be an indication that you are correct in your in the video you've chosen. So yeah, so this is just like someone who is very lively. So I feel like underneath everything, they might just have this very enthusiastic and happy energy, but they might only show it to you when they feel safe, right? And this is like someone they are holding back because they don't want to get hurt. So with the Queen of Blades here, this is Aquarius energy, and this talks about someone who, again, has had really bad relationships, and they are very choosy with who they let in, right? They are also very intelligent. They essentially know what they want, and they're going to go out and they're going to get it, right? So like that's kind of like the energy that they are exuding. Unfortunately, there's not much else I can really say. I feel like this is essentially what you're going to get is like why they're not letting you in, not necessarily what they're thinking about. And I'm sorry, I know you're asking about what they're thinking about, but maybe what they're thinking about is just their bad past and they're trying not to repeat it, right? Now, with the Warlock here, this talks about someone who does not believe in themselves. So maybe whoever this was that hurt them has essentially hurt them so badly that they have lost faith and belief in their own abilities and themselves. The fact that they got the Warlock also talks about being good at manifesting, but again, not believing. This could also mean that they are someone who tends to be more balanced, but maybe one of the energies is just not longer there, right? Like they're not, that's what I'm looking for, they're not like taking care of themselves, right? And they're letting something go, because they, again, are in this bad place, right? So that's a possibility as well. And with the Ten of Blades here, this talks about someone who, again, has been hurt. They've been stabbed 10 times in the back, right? Like they are tired and guarded, but this also talks about, because it is 10, this talks about an ending, right? So I think they're going to eventually realize that you aren't someone who's going to hurt them. I think they're eventually going to be able to open up to you, but it just takes a lot of time. This relationship is not going to be an easy one. You just have to be very slow and steady with them and allow them to take their time to kind of be okay and to show off this energetic, happy person and to open up, because for them, this is really hard to trust again. But it will happen eventually. They will get to this Ten of Blades energy. They will realize that this is in the past and they're ready to move forward, and they will be open. So if you needed confirmation that you're going to get whatever they're thinking about, this is it. They will tell you, you will learn. Spirit has your back, but unfortunately I can't specifically tell you each individual things. It's just overall about their past relationships. So that being said, I hope this was helpful. I hope that you now have happiness, that, or knowledge that essentially that you're going to get whatever it is that's going on. And yeah, so with that being said, let me know how this resonated. If you're happy with it, let me know what kind of readings you'd like to see from me in the future. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It means so much to me. And hopefully I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye, Group 1. Hi, Group 2. So I should put you guys off camera. I hope you don't mind. And essentially we're going to start with the energy that both you and this person exhibit. So person A, or person 1, exhibits the Gazelle in reverse energy. This energy is of someone who essentially I can have trouble sleeping, really bad insomnia issues, things like that. And it's because they have this racing mind, right? So they're always thinking. They might be more energetic as well, and trying to do all kinds of things, and take on way too much. But you know, they're always wanting to move. They always want to do things. They're always thinking, and like, you know, but then they can't like stop. Like they're having a hard time like calming down. This might only apply to 1 or 2 people, but this person might have ADHD. I'm hearing, but again, that can only apply to a few of you, and it's not like it has to apply to everyone. The other card that pops out is the Dolphin Spirit. This and that are true. So again, I feel like they're constantly trying to do everything, like this and that. Like they're like, give me all the things to do. I want to do everything. And they're always like, you know, like I said, moving about. Now the Dolphin can also talk about intelligence. So this person might be really smart. Yeah. So person B is the Rabbit. The Rabbit is someone who is really good at foraging, so someone who's very resourceful. The Rabbit could be someone who might have been poor or grew up just on the streets. Could also doesn't have to apply to everyone, but I did hear that. And they know how to get everything they need. They're frugal. They hold on to their money. They're like, this is my money. And they don't want to waste anything. They're always they're definitely someone who eats all of the leftovers before, like they don't want anything to waste it all. They're always like you know, and like the rabbits have big families as well. So this could be someone who has come from a big family, or someone who wants a big family. This rabbits can talk about pregnancy, so pregnancy might be something that they want to do or currently are pregnant, or yeah. And now again, that's only for some of you. Take this how it resonates, leave what things you don't think resonate, because I know the rabbit has a lot of different things. The rabbits can also talk about, again, very similar to the gazelle, it can talk about a mind that is racing, that is thinking, and so they could be like that as well. The seahorse spirit, watch and wait. So again, with this energy of waiting, so like seeing like someone, maybe let's say has bread out on the table or something, and you wait for them to turn around, and then you grab the bread and you run. You know, like it's like someone that is patient, but they're patiently waiting for, I won't say scraps, but like they're patiently waiting for the universe to provide, almost. Like they again are very frugal, and yeah, like that kind of energy, I guess. Now, again, just take what resonates, because I know that the rabbit card might only apply to some people with different sections, because there is so much I went over with that one. Now, with the tarot, the first card popped out is the Five of Steles. This talks about competition. This talks about someone who is like more of a competitive person, constantly competing, constantly wanting to win. This could again be reference to this person needing to win in order to provide for themselves or their family, and that's why they're so competitive, or just because that was the environment they grew up in. A lot of this feels like childhood kind of learned behavior going into who they are today. But yeah, they are more of a competitive person. Now with the Queen of Rings in reverse, this is someone who cares a lot about money. Money is very important. So again, this could be someone who didn't have money growing up, which is why money is so important to them now. It could be someone that did have a lot of money growing up and they want to continue having that money, but that's probably not that's not really the energy I'm feeling here. But it could be applied to someone, I guess. Yeah, and so they're kind of like holding on to their jewels, and they're essentially that kind of person that they don't care what they have to do in order to get that money and provide. They're willing to do it, whatever it takes. Now, with the pages of runes, again, this brings up the idea of family. So again, I feel like family is very important to this person. And I assume, now this doesn't have to be true, but I do believe that the rabbit person is the person you're asking about, just because it does feel like this is the same energy from this person, but that might not be the case. Now, with this, it's twins, right? So again, the twins could run in their family. That again is only a specific message for some of you, but that could be a confirmation. Or maybe they want twins, or maybe they are a twin, or they, anything about that. Now, this also talks about emotional fulfillment, being really happy. This person, I think, is happy when it comes to the family. Family is, like, again, something that makes them very happy. I think they are probably so worried about the money because of whatever family they have. I'm hearing that some of this person you're asking about, for some of you this applies, but they might be the first person in their family to have gone to college, right? Which is why it's so important for them to make the money and to help. But again, that's only for some of you. But yeah, no, this reminds me of like someone who essentially just wants to be happy, wants to fill their cup, and wants to help and fill other people's cups up. They want to kind of spread happiness where it's needed, possibly because they didn't have unlimited resources of cups, essentially, when they were growing. Now, with the Five of Rings, this again talks about having money issues, but it talks about the idea of things turning around and you being able to gain that money, get that money. And so maybe some of you, this person is just really thinking about and really worried about their family and their money situation, and that's why they're always stressed or not talking and opening up, because maybe this is hard for them to talk about whatever happened when they were kids. And so this person, but it's they're going to turn around, right? So if they did go to college and they're firstborn, they're going to turn things around. They're going to make that money. They're going to provide, and they're going to be really happy. They're going to start to be more happy with themselves and the world, because they now have this abundance that they didn't have before. Now again, pay attention to the fact that there are so many kids here. There are 8 kids on this card. So again, the idea of big family, again, they might just really want a big family. Maybe they grew up with, like, maybe them and their parents, and they're just really small, and now they really want a big family because they want to they don't want to feel as lonely, or they don't want their kids to feel lonely. I think that could be, again, for some of you. Yeah. And then with the 5 of Runes here, again, this talks about being a fighter, fighting for every cup, essentially. Like, your cup spilled, you're sad, you're gonna fight to get another cup, you're gonna fight. So this person is essentially someone who I feel like does not give up. They do not quit. They are always going. They are very strong-spirited, and yeah, I mean, essentially that's what I'm feeling. Now, this could also talk about someone who is okay to compromise, although based off of the surrounding cards, I feel like the compromising and isn't necessarily what the card is trying to tell me, but it could. Some of you might have someone who, maybe they compromise with you a lot. Maybe because they like you, they compromise with you, and they don't want you to scare you away. But I'm hearing that they're more of a competitive nature and a free spirit, essentially. Now, some things I want to point out. The Queen of Rings, this card talks about the Taurus energy. So for some of you, you might have Taurus placements, or your person might have strong Taurus placements. And then the Pages of Runes here, this talks about Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces energy, so that could be also a strong placement for you or them. Now, another thing that I really want to pop up is the idea of the number 5. So if you look, this is a 5, this is a 5, and this is a 5, right? So you might be seeing the numbers 555 wherever you go, or like as a confirmation for something, right, about this person. You could also, because these 2 5s were over here, you might just see 2 5s and not 3, because this 5 was separated by the other numbers. But yeah, and then if you notice here in the Seahorse card, there's a 5 here as well. So 5 is definitely an important number for you to watch out for. I definitely am hearing that. So definitely be on the lookout for that number. Yes, so essentially what they're thinking about, family and money, that's really what's coming up for me. And some of you actually, some of them might even be thinking about asking you to become a part of the family. If this is a romantic connection and they want to, and they might ask you to marry them, maybe that's on their mind as well, because a lot of things with family, or maybe they want to have kids with you, maybe that could be something else. But again, that's only for a select few of you. I know not everyone is here for a romantic person, not everyone is ready for marriage or children, so for some of you that is the case, but not for everyone. So with that being said, I hope this resonated with you. I hope you enjoyed your time here. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below, and any suggestions, please feel free to do so as well in the comments. Like and subscribe if you feel like doing so. It would mean so much to me, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Hi, group 3. So I shuffled for you guys off camera. I hope it's okay. So essentially, we're gonna start off with person A or person's ones. What they're like personality-wise, just for confirmation purposes. So the octopus, this person is someone who's always doing things. I like to think of the octopus almost like a mom figure, right? Because she has like all of the jobs and chores and whatnot that she is always doing, or she's like fussing over the kids, or she's, you know, always like doing all these different things. Obviously, you don't have to be a mom, you don't have to be a woman, but that's kind of like how I like to see the octopus. Essentially, the octopus, a million things to do, always does it. They are very great at multitasking. They, right, I mean, like, I feel as well that sometimes they, because they do this so often, they tire themselves out, so you have to make sure that you know how much effort you should really be putting in and how much you need to kind of rein back. So. And with the grasshopper here, it says, this person is not someone who's very religious. They're very practical. They do what they know, essentially. This person is someone who does not want to take chances. They're kind of like refrained and reined in, and because they're afraid of falling, essentially, is what I'm hearing. So that's person one. Very practical, very intelligent, you know, possibly ambitious as well, I'm hearing. The moth is someone who has a very busy mind. They're always thinking, right? So this person, very busy body. This person, very busy mind. So they are always thinking, they're always doing things, they're always like going from one, like flapping around and thinking and over-analyzing and, you know, being very aware, hypervigilant, essentially, of their surroundings. And with the owl here, because they're always thinking of all these different things that are going on, they actually aren't seeing the full picture. They aren't seeing what they need to be seeing. And there's a lack of kind of like they see everything that they need to see except for, I mean, like, they see everything except for what they need to see, essentially, is what I'm hearing. Like, they might even be like someone who likes to gossip, or like listens to or watches people when they are arguing, and then they find that entertaining, but they're not really focusing on their own life and what they need to be focusing on. That is something I hear as well. Again, some of these things are not for everyone, so as long as you're resonate with some of them, you know, because I'm hearing a lot of different things from different people that are here, so keep that in mind. Okay. And also because it's an owl, owls tend to be very intelligent, so this could be someone who's also quite smart. Moving on. Oh, and then I also see, actually, I see a 3 here and a 3 here. So the number 3 could be important to you guys and for confirmation details, and you might be seeing 3s. Yeah. So Axel Mortmead here with the 5 of Blades. This is someone who essentially is someone who's intelligent, and they're always making moves. They're like, okay, this is my 50-step plan to succeed at this business. This is my, you know, game plan. So I feel like this person might be a business person, because they tend to be someone who watches the other movement of their competitor, right? So like a business competitor, or maybe they're up for a job promotion, someone else's, and they're watching and they're paying attention and they know how to beat them. And this person's like really like intelligent when they're watching people. Like they're like it might even be like this again, like them paying attention more to people, if this is who you're asking about. But yeah, so this person, they sink a lot of time and effort into competing and knowing what they need to do in order to succeed, essentially. And they're willing to essentially sacrifice so much in order to succeed. So that might even be their time and their energy, if it's the octopus we're asking about. But they're essentially all in for the reward. They could also be very charismatic, very good at public speaking. They could also be very good at debate, I'm hearing. And again, like all these like clocks and like remind me of like the way that some people are like trying to figure out the way someone's brain works, like all these cogs and whatnot, and they're like trying to think, okay, this is, you know, what their brain is thinking, and then the time obviously is so much time into it, right? So I'm going to show this off here. We have the Six of Stelas. This one talks about, again, knowing your competitor and not giving up. So this person is someone who does not give up easily. They are always doing things. If they want something, they're going to go out and they're going to get it. They're not going to take a no for an answer. They just won't do it. They also do not take rejection. They do not take no easily. So you might have said no or something, and it was hard to hear, right? They might want to argue with you until you say yes, because I just like they don't like being turned down. That's something that I'm definitely hearing. With the King of Blades here, again, this energy of fighting to your last breath, this energy of knowing your competitor, knowing your worth. With this king especially, the king is an intelligent man, charismatic, really aware of other people, and knows exactly what they need to do. You kind of essentially what I said previously. And again, they are willing to cut down any other person's throne in order to be the head ruler, right? So they do not care whose toes they have to step on in order to get there. They're going to get to the top. So definitely watch out for them. Don't compete. You're probably not going to win. Or they do not, of course, if you do win, then metaphorical heads will roll. You're going to probably get into an argument. I call it now. The Ten of Rings here. This talks about possible financial struggle. So this person could have struggled financially in the past, or currently struggling with money, and they don't want to open up and they don't want to tell you. Now again, that's only for some of you. For others, this could just be this could be about possessions, right? Like not wanting to let go of possessions, or possessions maybe like they tend to give people lots of gifts is something I'm hearing, or they like to receive gifts. Again, that's for some of you. And essentially they might even be really charitable. Like if they get this like high upstanding position and they have a lot of money, they might actually be very charitable and you don't even realize it. And they like to give because they're fortunate. And it's not even about like I'm what I'm hearing is it's not about the money being on top. It's more about the idea of winning. They just love the thrill of winning and going in full swing and being the one that comes out on top. It's not even about the reward. It's just about the win. Which is why like they are they're probably giving back as well, because they might even feel bad about putting other people down in order to get to the top, essentially. With this, the Creator, this lets me know that they might be someone who enjoys traveling. They might be someone who's from a different background to you. They might be very worldly, right? In other terms, they might be very artistic as well, creating, they might like to create things with their hands. Maybe that's their business, is they're creating different things as well. Maybe they do that in their free time and they don't let you know, but like that's what they do to cool off and to relax, is to do something creative, or to make something. Maybe they're handy around the house, like they like to fix things if things are broken. They might also be an animal lover. Maybe they have pets of their own. Maybe they want to adopt a pet with you if you are in a romantic relationship, or even if you're just like roommates. And yeah, and this also talks about completions of cycles, right? So they might be at a time in their life where they might be in the future, getting to a time in their life where they're completing a cycle and they're going to move on to a new phase of their life. That's also coming through. Now, with this Crane of Runes in reverse, this talks about someone who's been hurt badly in past relationships, which is interesting because that's not something that's popped up before, but now it is. So I feel like this person might be someone who, when they're very competitive like that, they might drive people away. Maybe people don't have in the past not boned well to the idea of them being so over the top, so competitive, so not being able to take no, essentially. Like, maybe some people have pulled back and they've said some things and now they're really hurt about it and they're afraid to be completely honest with you because people who have seen them in their full out ways essentially did not like what they saw, and so they're holding back because they're afraid of losing you. This could also be essentially just like someone who is closing themselves off. Obviously, you're here, so they probably are, and they might even feel very lonely because they're doing this. Something I actually heard, but I didn't mention earlier, and I do feel like I should mention it, and this is only for a romantic relationship. If you're just friends or family or something like that, then please disregard this message. But for those of you who are asking about a romantic partner, they might even like this idea of role play, and maybe someone did not like that, or they're holding back because they don't know how you'll feel and they don't want to like just straight up and ask, so they're kind of holding back because they are someone who I'm hearing likes to play argue, and those are like the types of fights that they don't care if they win or lose. It's just more about like the playful banter essentially, and they might not be doing that as well because again, maybe someone has rejected that, or they took it seriously and now they're afraid, okay, what if this person thinks I'm actually upset with them and I'm not, I just want to be playful and I want to so I am hearing that come through. So again, that's only for some of you, but it was something that I felt drawn to say. And then the masked in reverse. I'm just going to put this here because I'm running out of room. Also, I've noticed something about here, like there's a word fate. So with the fate, this makes me think that maybe they used to believe in fate, or maybe they can be a little religious and they believe in signs and fate and things like that, or spiritual, should I say. And maybe now they're no longer believing it. Maybe they've lost their belief or faith because they put themselves so far into past relationships, and then they were hurt, and they're like, why would I be shown this? Maybe they don't realize, like, divine timing, they're meant to have been hurt in the past in order to have found you, essentially, and they're kind of pulled back because now they're afraid that it's just another lesson, essentially, to be learned. Right, so with the masked, in reverse, this talks about, like, this comes after the tower, right? So this is a sense of, again, finding, like, this hopeless peace, but not realizing it, and also not believing it, right? So I feel like this person does not believe, or does not trust right now that you are not going to break their heart, and so you have to be patient with them. And eventually they'll open up, and eventually you'll see this very fun, competitive, I'm hearing flirtatious for some of you, a person who is charismatic and fun and can do all, like, they really are someone who likes to, if you are dating them, they are someone who likes to shower you with gifts. They like to go out and do romantic things even, I'm hearing, and it's something that they kind of hold back because they don't want to give all of their cups, right? Because, like, the queen, she has overflowing cups, right? But they're holding back because, you know, they want to make sure that they give their cup, their energy, their happiness to someone who is going to reciprocate that care and compassion towards them. So you just have to be kind of patient. You have to wait for them to realize that this star that is you, essentially, is not here to burn out too quickly. You're gonna kind of be there for a while, right? right? And she's kind of wearing that, like, that mask, right? She's kind of blinded to the idea of what's going on around her. So something I've noticed, so the King of Blades, let's see here, what other, the Queen of Runes as well. The King and Queen, so the energies here are Libra and Scorpio, so you or them could have high Libra, Scorpio placements. Now, it doesn't have to be for everyone, but that could be for you. And yes, I believe that is it. So, like I said, number 3 is the number to look out for confirmation, for things like that. And hopefully this reading resonated with you. There's a lot going on here for many different people, and I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Let me know what you thought, how it resonated in the comments down below. Let me know what future videos you'd like to see on my channel. That would mean so much to me to know what you guys want. And also it would mean a lot to me if you guys liked the video and subscribed. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Hi, Group 4. So welcome to your reading. I quickly shuffle you guys off camera, so I hope you don't mind. I'm going to get right started into the oracle cards. The first one will be about person A, or the first person, and then we'll get into person B's energies. So first off, the Tiger. So the Tiger is essentially someone who is super protective, especially of their young or people they essentially as and the person is very protective of people they love and care about, family and friends and significant others, right? So there's someone who's definitely very protective of person B, and they could also be very silent, right? Like if they are mad, I'm hearing that they get very silent, and right before they attack you, essentially, or like they attack with words, right? So they get mad and then they yell, because they get. So if you hear them getting quieter, or if you start to get quieter, then you would know, like, yeah, like things are about to go down, right? So they're also very good listeners, I'm hearing. So you or them are very good at listening and paying attention, and so it makes the other person feel good when you do that, when you listen, right? So and again, very perceptive, like they have very like steady eyes. They witness and they notice, like they're very good at people watching. They're very good at understanding people, and they're quote unquote prey, right? So the Tiger, don't want to mess with whoever the Tiger is. And then the Turtle popped out underneath. Slow and steady wins the race. So yes, they watch and they listen and they wait. And when they know that this person is alone, right, that's when they go and they attack. They yell. They're like, you mess with this person that I love and care about, and I'm not okay with that. And they go full force on whatever it is. They might be just a verbal fighter, or they could be a physical fighter. But they wait and they listen, and then they win whatever argument or fight or whatever it is, because they pay attention and they knew who they were fighting, right? Here, this person number 2, or person B, is the Beaver in reverse. So this person is someone who might be perceived as lazy, or this person might have a hard time building their dam. This person might even be coming from a broken home, I'm hearing. And because they're coming from this broken home, they have a hard time creating or building this new home, right? So might hold back, essentially. And because of that, you know, I just feel like this person might even feel very lonely, or isolated. Like all the trees are being cut down around them, and they're just like left like completely open, it's a metaphor that I'm hearing. And so they might also have a hard time being vulnerable, I'm hearing, and opening up, and it's really hard and it's scary for them, and they don't want that person to leave. So you might be the tiger, and this person you're asking about could be the beaver, or it could be reversed. But yeah. With the giraffe here, see the bigger picture, but it's reversed, right? So this tells me this person does not look at the bigger picture. They look at the small details, and they're just focusing on their own emotions, right? And they're focusing on, you know, their own fears, right? Instead of thinking about what they want and going for it, they kind of hold back. And this person might even be someone who has a lot of things that they have to do, and they can't get them done because now they're thinking about everything they have to do, and it freaks them out, and they're like, oh my god, I have to do this and this and this and this and this, and I can't do it. Instead of taking things one step at a time, they don't do that, and it freaks them out as well. That's something I'm hearing. Okay, that was the beginning, so hopefully something resonated with you. And we're going to get into the tarot. So right here we have the believer. This person that you're asking about, they are spiritual or religious in some way. I'm hearing they tend to, they believe, right? They believe in something. Whatever that something is, they believe in it. They have complete faith. They could be someone that is someone that spirit reaches out to, right? Or some kind of someone that prays a lot, right? They tend to this person definitely feels like they look at the bigger picture. So this might even be you might be this beaver right here, and they might be the tiger I'm hearing, which is interesting because this person does feel like they look at the bigger picture, or at the very least they look at their own bigger picture, right? Like they take a lot of advice, or they even might give a lot of advice as well. Roses might be important because there's a lot of roses in this, and for some reason I'm hearing roses, trees, like nature is something that might be coming up for you when it comes to confirmation. Right, and again there is flowers here, so flowers, because these are daisies, but definitely. So with this protector, the protector, this does feel like a tiger energy, right? The tiger, the mama tiger, right, trying to protect her young. It does feel like that. So again, you might be the beaver. This person is someone who, because they feel like they are very knowing and knowledgeable, and they feel kind of smart, this feels like someone who is wanting to help you out, right? They want to protect you, but they don't want to freak you out, right? Maybe you just started, maybe you just met, not just met, but like maybe you haven't been friends for a long time, or maybe you haven't been dating for a long time, and they don't want to freak you out by being super protective, but they tend to worry a lot about you, I'm hearing. They also feel like they want, maybe they think that you are on the wrong path. Like they might see something that you do, and they're thinking, oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you, but then they kind of hold back because they don't want to upset you. Okay, yeah, so I'm sorry, I was interrupted by a phone call, but I'm gonna try and figure out where I was. So essentially, right, this person, you know, wants to protect you, wants to protect your heart right here, right, you know. I'm hearing that they might even, if you guys are dating, right, this is just for dating, but if you guys are dating, I'm hearing they want to get you something, right, that they've sprayed their cologne or perfume on, right, or they want to make sure that everyone knows that you are theirs. Like maybe they get you some, like they have a sweatshirt and they hand it to you and it has their name on the back, like this person belongs to me. That's something I'm hearing, that they want to make sure that everyone knows that you are taken, for those of you that are together, because they they might get jealous, essentially, if someone's into you and hitting on you, and they're like, like, they come back and they're like, excuse me, we're together. Like, I'm hearing that they are very territorial, which makes sense, because if they are the tiger, tigers tend to be territorial. So, definitely, that's something that's important to them. And yes, so they want to be like this angel for you. They want to protect you. They want to help guide you in the right way, and they think they know what's best. But they're afraid that might upset you, so they kind of are holding back. Or maybe they do open up and tell you, and then you get upset, and then it bothers them because they just want what's best for you, and they don't want anything to happen to you. With the lycanthropes in reverse, this talks about someone who has a lot of hidden depths. This person is an onion, okay? They have a lot of layers you need to pull back. This person is very deep and emotional and spiritual, and this person, they have a lot of inside wisdom, and they, it's going to take a long time for you to kind of pull all the layers back and see what's on the inside, because there's a lot going on with this person. This person is someone who I'm hearing is very, they tend to have a more calm exterior, right? So like it might take a while for them to get upset, or maybe they only get upset if it's about someone else, but not about themselves, right? Like, I'm feeling like this person is someone who doesn't tend to get that mad if you're hurting them or being rude to them, but then if you're rude to someone they care about, that's when they pounce, right? So this person might have also, they could have been through bad experiences, but they didn't let that get them down, I'm hearing. They learned from it, and they moved on, and they're like, they thanked, their angels or spirits for giving them that opportunity to have learned from previous relationships, so that when they do find their person, it's worthwhile, and things work out. So here are the 8 of Rings. This might be someone who essentially... Okay, so for some of you, this person might have struggled with an addiction of some kind. Now, addiction I'm using lightly. It could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be a different type of addiction, like a shopping addiction, right? Or an addiction when it comes to food, or some kind of issue when it comes to food, right? Or it could just be like, like the shopping addiction, like it could be something light, right? Or they're addicted to video games, they're addicted to sitting down and watching live TV, like this person has struggled with some kind of addiction, right? It doesn't have to be really dark and heavy, and I feel like they are moving past that, or they're trying to move past that, and they're trying to be more balanced, and they're trying to help themselves, and that's something they want to protect you from. I'm also hearing that they might have made a lot of past mistakes, or they might have even be ashamed of something they did or said in the past, and they don't want you to know what they were like before, because they're different now and they're better, but they don't want to open up yet. And so there might have been something bad that happened, like I felt with the lycanthropes, right? Like there might have been something bad that happened to them in the past, but they are they don't want you to see that, because they're trying to move beyond it. They did move beyond it, right? But at the same time, you're coming in, and they don't want you to think that they're like that anymore. They don't want to alarm you, or they don't want a certain reaction from you, so they're kind of holding that back. Maybe they don't even want to bring it up because they know that will cause them to be upset or cause some kind of reaction, or they're afraid that maybe they'll go back to that way, like go back to that addiction, right? So they are closed off about that, I'm hearing. And then with the 5 of Runes in reverse, this talks about someone who's very good at compromising. Like I said, this person, they pride themselves on being balanced. They pride themselves on being knowledgeable and spiritual, and not necessarily a fighter per se, but only a fighter when it comes to people they care about. Like, they love that about them. They love that drive they have for the people they love, but they love the fact that, they are calm, right? They don't like being angry. Maybe they were angry a lot in the past, from some hurt that happened to them, and they don't want to go back to that anger or aggression. And so this person, you know, they mourned, right? Like, this is mourning. They mourned and they moved on from whatever it was that happened. And yeah, so that is essentially what I'm hearing for you. Yeah, you just have to wait for them to be able to open up about whatever happened in their past. But essentially that's the only thing they're really holding back. Other than that, I feel like they are really giving themselves to you. And yeah, so with that being said, that is your reading. I hope that this resonated with you. Oh my god, I forgot. I'm so sorry. I forgot to mention, this is Pisces energy. And there's also Libra energy in here. So Pisces, Libra, those are signs that are important. But yeah, so you could have that in your high placements or their high placements. Anyway, so let me know in the comments down below if it resonated with you, what kind of videos you'd like to see from me in the future. And please like and subscribe if you feel like doing so, but it would mean so much to me if you did. And I'll see you guys in the next video.